Yeah, I'm just getting. Folks, we have done it. We have made it. We are here. It is Thursday, August 6th, 2020. The year that nobody thought they wanted, but the year that we are stuck with. I am James, you are you. We are here for the 102nd edition of At Home with James. And folks, we have got a big one set up for you tonight. But before we get into all that hoopla, how are you doing? I hope you're well. I had a lovely day. The weather is to my liking, still a little warm. It could be a little bit breezier, but I'm not one to complain. I just got back from sitting in the park. I was eating tacos. I was eating tortilla soup. I was eating tortilla chips. I was eating guacamole, and I had a Coke. And I was sitting on a bench, and I wasn't hot. If anything, I could have put a little bit of a sweater on, and that would have pleased me. That would have made me happier than a pig and you know what. But this is all to say, I hope that you had a nice, dinner. Hope you had a nice day. And I hope you're having a nice evening. I'm feeling nice despite the fact that I sound abrasive right now. As you and I all know, I've got tonal issues. I sound cranky when I don't mean to be. I sound abrasive when I don't mean to be. But I promise you that I am in a good mood, and I hope that you are in a good mood. I want to thank you so much for joining us here tonight for, as mentioned, the 102nd edition of At Home with James. We are live on twitch.tv/athomewithjames. Tell everyone about it. Mom, dad, the whole family. They're all welcome. I don't care if you don't like them. Send them my way. I'll take them on as my new parents. I need a few. On tonight's show, much later on in the Crapola Corner, we have Carla Mah. Is she going to tell a story? And if so, will I die in this story? I hope so. I can't be the only one thinking that. In addition to this, Thomas Barnwell is also going to be here, a friend of the show. And what is he going to be doing tonight? He is going to be airing out some of his grievances. Thomas has compiled a list of things that he thinks stink. And it might be from a nasal perspective, or it might be things that he thinks just plain sucks. That's later tonight. Also, we're on high alert. We have got another first-time guest joining us tonight on the show. Rai Maitland is going to be here. I've been trying to get Rai since this show started. I sent her emails, I sent her letters, I sent her texts, and then she finally broke down and said, look, if I do this show, will you leave me alone? And I said, no, because the first time you do it, you're going to love it, and you're going to come back for more. We're going to kick things off in just a moment with a man who is known for having a penchant for alcohol. He also has a penchant for sitting in the sun and sailing across the Mediterranean Sea. Without any further ado, coming into port, let's welcome the captain, Dimitri Kyres.
Woo! Yeah! We did it, everybody! Yeah! Woo!
Dimitri, you're having yourself a good time over there.
James,
you're living life.
Woo! James, I didn't see you there, buddy. How are you?
Well, I'm doing better now that you're here. This is it looks like you're on some type of booze cruise.
I'm on the booze cruise now, buddy. We're getting blasted.
Okay, well, you're getting blasted. How long have you been drinking today, Dimitri?
Oh, buddy, the celebration has been going on all day from 8 a.m. to whatever time it is right now.
Well, we're coming in at 9:05 past the hour. It's 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome.
Awesome, buddy. And cheers to you, James. 100 episodes. It's an honor to be on the 100th episode, James.
Do you say the 100th episode?
1000 right here, baby, tonight.
Dimitri, I hate to break it to you, but the 100th episode was on Tuesday, and we are now Thursday. This is the 102nd episode.
Cut the music, guys. Cut the music, guys.
Was there an on-ship DJ?
Yeah.
What's the DJ's name?
DJ Fantasy, baby. You're telling me that this isn't the 100th episode?
No, this is the 102nd episode. And did you say DJ Fantasy?
Yeah, DJ Fantasy, baby. Because anything can happen.
He's playing hippie rock.
It's whatever. He's taking requests all night long because his fantasy is your fantasy.
Oh, okay, great.
James,
just out of curiosity, does he spell fantasy the way that it's correctly spelled?
Oh, no. F3. I'll tell you the rest later.
All right. You'll tell me the rest later.
James, I've had this party raging in your honor. What am I going to tell all these people back here?
Well, look,
it's not 100 tonight?
No, it's 102, but 102 is still a milestone. I sent you an invitation to be on the 100th episode. What the hell happened?
Give me a fucking minute, all right? Hey, everybody, get a load of this. It's 102, not 100. Boo. Yeah, I know. I'll talk to him.
Okay, it seems like I've really upset the crowd.
Don't let this picture fool you. They're fucking pissed.
Yeah, it seems like they're so upset they've come to a standstill.
Yeah, we're doing the mannequin challenge.
Yeah, the mannequin challenge. Well, I sent you, Dimitri, the invitation to be on the 100th episode. Again, this was on Tuesday at 9:00. What happened?
Oh, buddy, I was getting the prep ready for this. As you know, James, pardon me, I am a hell of a party maker and party shaker. And that's it. James, I wasn't able to make it, I guess. But here I am tonight, and I'm honored to be your guest.
Well, I'm honored to have you here again. This is the 102nd episode. You're really kicking things off in high fashion. I'm a little worried that you might be partied out. It's only 9:08 p.m.
James, I'm like the double A bunny. I just keep thumping.
You say the double A bunny?
Yeah, the double A bunny, like in the commercial.
Yeah, I think you mean the Duracell bunny. Double A is just a type of battery.
That's why you're the king.
Well, thank you for that. It looks like you got some sun there, Dimitri.
I'm getting burnt. We're all getting burnt out here. Hey, James, speaking of invitations, I sent you a couple in the mail. Why aren't you on this booze cruise with us tonight, man?
Well, of course we are on the captain's cruise. This is your moment to shine, Dimitri. I sent the invitation back. I'm not much for boozing or cruising, and I appreciate the invitation, but it's just not something that I really take a lot of joy or pleasure in.
Oh, James, 100 years. 100 years of partying. You and me, man. If I could regale the audience with a couple of good stories of our party days.
Oh, you're in my party days?
James, you're an absolute bull in the china shop. They would say, hide the liquor. James McGee is here.
No one said that. I don't drink.
You'd howl into the night. Oh.
I think you're mistaking me with an alcoholic wolfman.
And that exactly, every time you handshake somebody, it was like a werewolf biting somebody. You would just turn them into a loose caboose.
Okay, so I handshake somebody and it turns someone into a loose caboose.
Every time and James, you don't remember, do you? I was square when you first met me.
Oh, so you're saying I was a bad influence and I turned you into a party animal?
You don't remember that night, James?
What? Well, I suppose I don't. Would you be able to regale us with this memory?
I can't believe I'm about to tell this story to Le Roi, but I guess I have to. I was a delivery boy bringing a pizza over to I thought was just a regular old house.
Mm-hmm.
Little did I know, when I opened the door, I was greeted by absolute hound dogs. They took me by the wrists and I flung forward in what was a sea of temptation and Aphroditeism.
Wait, this is my house you're talking about? They took you into a sea of temptation and Aphroditeism?
I was flung forward, lassoed by Athena's whip, and brought into the foyer. There I was given 2 cups. I was told it was the red pill or the blue pill. One was gonna fucking rock your world, and the other one was gonna make you see the light.
So which one did you pick?
I took both.
Right, and what do they combine to create?
Well, I found myself in the sauna with an old wizened gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
He told me I needed to go up to the roof. So the roof I went. And that's when I found you, James.
Mm-hmm.
I told you my story. I was just some kid trying to make a buck. That's when you slammed me real good and pushed me off the roof.
I slammed you real good.
Yeah, you know.
I know what you're talking about. I slammed you real good.
Oh, you mean I got to explain it for everybody? It's
I
not
love
obvious?
that. Yeah, for everyone, including me.
You gave me one of the strongest bro grab handshakes I ever saw, and it rocked my world, my man.
I think you're misusing the term slammed me real good.
Doesn't matter. You pushed me off the roof and I fell 10,000 fathoms. I thought I was going to die, James.
So not only have we been partying for 100 years, you fell 10,000 fathoms. And apparently in the chat, I've gotten other people into drinking too. So I've become some type of party peer pressurer.
You certainly are, James. I fell into that pool and I thought I was going to die, James. To be honest with you, I saw Poseidon. I saw ancient civilizations rise and fall 1,000 years. And then I felt it. A grab by the chest, and it brought me up to the surface. And it was you. How you got from the roof to the ground floor, I'll never ask you, James. That's your secret. Keep it if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But you held me and you said, tonight, we break all the rules.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's my trademark quote that you seem to fit into each one of your appearances on the show. Something I've never said in my tonight. We break all the rules.
You break all the rules, James. You saved my life that night. I quit my job the next day, and I went to a party the next, and was that party in St. Henry, and that's where somebody took my hat, replaced it with a captain's hat, and I became the captain the next day.
Right. And I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, where are you partying right? Where's this boat located?
Oh, off the coast of Mykonos. Obviously, James. Hey, hold on just a minute. Mykonos.
Okay, so you're still in Greece.
Yeah, I'm back in Greece, James. The land of Zeus, the old gods, and E.
What, E, you mean the drug?
Oh, yeah, I mean the drugs. Or do I have to explain that to the audience too?
Well, we'll stay away from the drug talk here. So just out of curiosity, when do you plan to return to Montreal?
Well, James, never. Personally, I'm having a great time here. The only time I'd come back to Montreal is to pick your little butt up.
Wait, my little butt?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you talk like you know this with certainty.
Oh, brother, you don't remember showing me your butt?
Oh, is that the night I slammed you?
You better fucking believe it.
Yeah. That was part of my baptism into partying. I bring you, I have all of my people, they take you into their den of hedonism. I send you to a sauna with some type of mystic. Then you come up to the roof where I'm doing something in the evening. I push you off into a pool, and then I rescue you. And then in my final act to ingratiate you into this world of partying, I show you my bare ass.
James, we don't ask how the gods do their business. I don't ask how Zeus casts his thunderbolts, much like I don't ask you, my creator, how you do what you do.
My creator. Dimitri, I would usually I'm a little baffled by a lot of the memories you have, but you've been so complimentary tonight that I feel touched by everything that you've said.
James, I love you to death. I'd jump off of Mount Olympus for you in a heartbeat, my friend.
Well, we are worried, and we just want you to be okay.
James, I'm more than okay. Like that of a metamorphosis, I've changed from a grub into a beautiful falcon, carving the skies.
Say a warm grub into a falcon.
Absolutely, the natural way of things.
How many beers have you had tonight?
Oh, brother, I still got a long night ahead of me. Oh, what the hell?
Well, they're good. The party animals have taken them from you.
The gods are angry. They want me to drink them. Oh, yeah, they're taking them. Oh, easy, guys, easy. Take them.
Well, yeah, it's a rowdy party. It's a rowdy watch.
Good Lord, they took my beers, James.
Yeah. And what was that? Yeah, you might grab that guy's drink.
Oh, James, hold on. They're taking me.
Yeah, you might want to. Yeah.
James, hold on.
Well, Dimitri, we better let you go. It feels like you're getting sucked into the party.
James, they need me back there. The maestro needs to get back.
Yeah, thanks, Dimitri. We'll talk to you next week. And
James, I had a great time.
Yeah.
Hope you do too.
Yeah, safe sailing. That's Dimitri Kyres. This was another edition of Dimitri's Captain Cruise. Again, as mentioned, usually Dimitri's stories concern me. They're full of a lot of mistruths, and make no mistake about it, that story was filled with mistruths. I don't own a sauna. I've never even been in a sauna. I don't advocate for the use of consuming ecstasy, although if you want to do it, that's your prerogative, not mine. But Dimitri was very, very complimentary with his words. He called me a god, and I think that might be a bit much, but the sentiment, folks, is what took me to the place I needed to go. We are about to move on to our next guest. Once again, a first time ever appearance. I know this person. I love this person. Last time I saw this person, she pointed out an enormous hair that was growing out of my ear, but not like inside the ear, like the rim of my ear, like probably that long. And it consumed my thoughts for days. I was staying at somebody's place in Toronto, and I couldn't just say, hey, can I borrow a pair of scissors to cut this long hair off my ear? So I waited an entire day on the train, and I did it when I got home to Montreal. Let's welcome to the show, first time ever appearance. This is actor Rai Maitland.
Hello.
Rai, welcome to the show. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, but you're here. You might have the nicest home of anyone that has appeared on this show.
Do you like this fire?
Yeah, and people don't try to adjust. This is not a superimposed background. We've got a fireplace, a lovely plant, a beautiful painting of a cloudy, like a very cloudy but blue sky. Looks like a ukulele. And Rai, you're decked out in a beautiful fur.
I believe it's mink.
It's a mink fur. Real mink or faux mink?
I think it's real.
We're going to get the PETA people after us now.
Yeah.
We're going to have the PETA people after us now.
Well, it was secondhand.
Well, and look, controversy creates interest. Rai, thanks so much for being here. How does it feel to be one of the, now these days, a very rare first-time guest?
Well, it feels good, although figuring out that it's the 102nd doesn't. So
I know it was, this is not my, I would have had you on the first episode, the 50th episode. I tried, but here we are. So not only are you an actor, you are in the midst of taking a sip of beer, but also in the midst of becoming an educator. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I like education and I like theater, so that's what's happening. I mean, it's kind of like a great combo of the two things. And
well,
yeah.
This is, we're not here just to talk about academia.
Nope.
As mentioned, you are an actor. You have participated in a number of productions on stage. I have seen you in these productions. I have enjoyed you in these productions. And some of these productions have taken place at fringe festivals. Now, this is a first-time segment. What I have done, Rai, is I've compiled a list of about 10 or so make-believe fringe titles. I have created titles of shows that I think could be fringe festival shows. Now, before we get into it, Rai, if I were to ask you what specifically makes for a fringe festival show, what would you define a fringe festival show as? And that's a big question.
Ooh. Well, I like shows that are experimental, that are kind of wacky and not necessarily the type of thing you'd see on a main stage. And I like to see people who are not, well, I like to see people who are performers and also non-performer people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity to see a very rogue type of theater, but they also it tends to be very personal in some shows, and some of them execute it well. Some shows not so much.
Yeah.
But that's the joy and the beauty of any type of fringe. What I've done, as mentioned, is I've compiled a list of shows that I've created, and I believe that they sound exactly like a show that you'd see at a fringe festival in a program. I'm going to give you a list of these shows, and one by one, I want you to basically tell me what you think the premise of this show is.
Love it.
Okay, so the first show is I Think I Married My Dad.
Oh yeah. Well, that one's a really weird one because it was actually about two rabbits. They grew up. I mean, I didn't even know when I saw it. I was like, okay, it's obviously about a dad, son or daughter or whatever, getting married to their dad. But it's actually about two rabbits who went on this long ass journey together by boat to Mykonos, actually, where they ended up. Yeah, they ended up having their own family. The two baby brothers, sisters, and then from that, the babies that came from that did actually end up marrying the father of the baby dad who did come over on the boat.
Okay, so that sounds very fringish. Our next title is Colin versus the Big Bang.
Oh, that was like a call-in show.
So people called into it.
Yeah. And they were just like contesting what had actually happened at the origin of the universe.
Okay, got it. So it's a call-in show where people are contesting the origin of the universe. Okay, great. Our next one is Single but Spoken For.
I think that one was a series of people sitting on chairs with no pants on, facing away from the audience.
Oh, yeah.
And then people got to throw small fruit and eggs. And the person who was most covered in stuff won.
Wait, so they're sitting in chairs, pantless, but their back. So their back is to the audience, so you just see their some of their ass.
Yeah, but you don't know whose ass it is.
Just out of curiosity, what venue does that show take place at?
Well, that was probably at Montreal Improv, but
that was at Montreal Improv. Yeah. That was probably the most sexual show in Montreal Improv history. Our next show is titled Under My Skin.
Oh, okay. Well, if I was to write that show, I think it would be about, and this is like my dark side, is, did you ever see that movie Jeepers Creepers?
I believe so, but I don't remember much about it.
Okay, it's really disgusting. The end of it is you figure out that this guy who actually has eternal life has been cutting people up and making like basically the inner side of a cave out of their bodies, out of their skins. So I think for me it would be like the slow process of watching somebody cut fake skin, not real skin, off of their entire body and then plastering it to the wall. And then you realize the lights come up and you realize it's all skins.
Okay, so this is a more disturbing play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, so this one sounds disturbing, but again, these are your interpretations. Tell us about the show, The Devil Downstairs.
Oh, huh. Tell us about the show, The Devil Downstairs. Okay, well, I think there is a tiny rat man who lives in the basement who has a suitcase full of smaller rats also. And he travels day and night back and forth underneath the stairs and underneath the bedroom where the people are trying to sleep. And it's their relationship falls apart. But otherwise the relationship was good. But this little rat man running back and forth actually ruins their life, their relationship, and then they call him the devil.
So far, this sounds like a terrible fringe festival.
Yeah, this is how I would curate the fringe festival.
Yeah, I think the best one so far is people throwing eggs at bare asses. Let's move on to our next title. Yeah. Middle age is mediocre.
Oh yeah. I would love that to be a lot of audience interaction, and just talking about how mediocre everybody is, and just like
Oh,
that back to each other.
yeah. Okay. So it's like, comparatively speaking, the audience of people who maybe fit in that middle-aged category. This sounds more like a talk back.
That's another dog back.
All right. So yeah, of course, not to be confused with Call-In versus The
No,
Big Bang, which
no.
is actually a call-in show. All right. Let's move on. This one I'm looking forward to. Garden of Ethan.
Okay, yeah. Well, you remember who was that guy? The big pirate guy. Oh yeah, Gulliver. He gets caught, and all the little guys
Yeah.
tie him down, right? Tie him right down and live on his body.
Yeah.
How I remember it. So this is all about how like a man's hairy chest is a garden.
Oh,
People are living, and it's their
that. Yeah.
lives, their children's lives, their
Mhm.
houses, their schoolhouses, all up in that furry haven.
Yeah. Okay. So that really sounds like a Fringe show. That one, like the idea of little characters living in somebody's chest hair. Let's go.
That was mostly a mime show.
Oh, that's a mime show. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. We haven't had a lot of mime representation in this make-believe Fringe festival. Let's move on to the next one. Sometimes clowns frown.
Yeah. Well, sometimes clowns frown. Makes me think that actually they would have like 5 to 7 like straight up clowns, like the creepy ones, but hanging by their feet from the ceiling. And
Mhm.
they're kind of like inside the space. And they pop up and down, and whisper in people's ears messages from the other side.
Okay. So this sounds like a very eccentric Fringe festival.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're leaning into the experimentation of it. Here's another one. Lust Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. A couple guys on a road trip, and one guy loses his foot.
Well, that's the show Lust Vegas. It's about a guy that loses his foot.
That's why they lead you on, and then you go and you're like, I'll pay $10 for that, and then by the end you're like, what did I just watch?
Oh, so it's just so do you think the reviews for Lust Vegas would be unfavorable?
Well, then there's Mooney on Theater, loved it.
Okay, so we got one good review.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's move on to our next one. Adventures of Dwayne.
Oh yeah. Well, Dwayne is obviously a tooth doctor,
Oh, of course.
and he's been traveling for years.
Hold on. Did you say a tooth doctor?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Not to be confused with dentist.
No. It's like a psychologist for your teeth. So he just.
Oh wait, no. Wait, it's a psychologist for your teeth?
You don't have one of those, and it's becoming more common. It's like massage therapy is becoming more common.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and I we're reaching the end of. I can't remember if we do Venus Rising.
No, but
Tell us about it.
I think it's well, I really think it's about raising people from the dead, but it's mostly just like it's a magic show, but it also has this it has this quality of otherworldliness, like the rest of the festival that I've curated.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so it has, you're kind of wondering if you really did accidentally bring people back from the dead, and then yes, you do find out that in a sister village, in a sister town,
Right.
in a sister universe, you did. So.
Okay, so this is basically the programming for Ray's Fantasy Fringe. The lineup goes as follows. I Think I Married My Dad, Lust Vegas, Adventures of Dwayne, Colin versus the Big Bang, Colin, not the name, but Callin, The Devil Downstairs, Under My Skin, Single but Spoken For, Venus Rising, Garden of Ethan, Sometimes Clowns Frown, Middle Ages Mediocre. I have one more for you.
Oh.
Polyamory Made Me Cheat.
Yeah, it's a family show.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, people chatting about their experiences onto a microphone, and that being amplified into the street.
Yeah. Okay. So this goes out to Saint Laurent, maybe.
Yeah. Because
Now,
people need to know.
Which one of these shows speaks to you the most?
Well, honestly, I'm haunted by the tiny rat walking back and forth. So
Right.
I feel that one, and I don't
The
remember
Devil Downstairs.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Now, I'm putting you on the spot here, Ray. Could I get you to give us a sample of The Devil Downstairs?
Yeah.
Can and I'm looking, imagine I'm directing this. I'm looking for a moment of real emotional depth. So this is the low point of The Devil Downstairs. Nice and loud, please.
Okay, well, just to give the scene again.
Yeah.
The couple, me and my partenaire, I will use this petit log.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very fringe-like, yeah. Yep.
We're laying in bed, and the rat is running back and forth.
Okay.
Are you going to say action?
Yeah. We're about to see an excerpt from the Fringe Festival hit, The Devil Downstairs, and action.
What the fuck is that sound?
That's the scene that gets you the Frankie Award.
Yeah.
The Frankie Award for least effort into a Fringe show.
Thank you. Thank you. Bravo.
Ray, we're just about out of time. We did it though. I was talking earlier today. I said, Ray, we did it. And you said, we haven't done it yet.
Now we have.
We did do it. I would like for you to come back so we can do this all over again. And I can come up with another list of 12 to 13 Fringe titles. And I can honestly say none of those broke down the way that I would have imagined that they would have. And that's what makes me happy about this segment, Ray.
I fucking loved it. I swear. Is that okay?
That's fine. I don't swear, but I encourage the other people to.
I flipping loved that game. And thank you for having me. And have a great night. And goodbye.
You have a good night too, Ray. Thank you so much. That is Rai Maitland. She's going to be a teacher, everyone. And that's one of the greatest gifts that we can give to society is to put ourselves out there to educate the future of today and tomorrow, because we can't change the past. But what we can do, well, I can't say we, I'm not going to do anything about it. But what Ray is going to do is help craft the future. She's also an actor. And can we just talk about that scene for a second? All of that sound effect work, the Foley, as we say in the industry, all of that of the rat coming back and forth, and the use of that block of that piece of dead wood, that was unbelievable. Folks, on tomorrow night's show, it's Friday, but guess what? We got a Saturday show too. Friday night. Oh, what a night. We have got the clash of the super nerds. Two of Montreal's biggest nerds will collide to determine who the biggest nerd of them all is. And there's no better place to do it than right here on Twitch. Canadian improv games legend, Mark Rowland. Miniature enthusiast, Jess Fildes, going head-to-head for dork supremacy tomorrow night at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But before we do that, we got a lot more show left to go. You know this person, you like this person, you admire this person. They've been here many times before, and barring some unforeseen incident, they will be back many times after this. We're getting ready to air some grievances. Let's welcome Thomas Barnwell to At Home with James.
James, how are you?
Thomas, I couldn't be better now that I'm seeing you. This is, of course, we've made the transition from Instagram, so we're seeing more of your office. This looks like you have really crammed yourself into a closet.
Yeah, actually, my entire family sleeps here every night.
Oh, yeah.
Got to tighten the belt during the lockdown, but
well, it's during these difficult and uncertain times, it's important to be frugal as well as responsible with our money.
Exactly.
Well, Thomas, how's your day going?
It was a good day. Yeah, good day.
Not bad. Did you get any work done today?
Not much. That's what made it good.
Yeah, that's what made it good. Well, Thomas, for those people who don't remember, you were here a couple weeks back on Things That Rule Night, which is putting together a list of things that specifically appeal to us in a positive way. We've been talking, and you've been telling me about all the stuff that's getting under your skin these days. So tonight, it's time for you to air your grievances. So you have basically put together a list of things that stink.
Yeah, in my opinion.
In
And
your opinion.
thank you for that gracious opening, by the way, that introduction. You said people admire me, but they may not after I read this page from my journal of grievances. So.
Well, as someone who is no longer admired, Thomas, I can tell you it's not that bad once you get to the other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's start in. Number 10, John Mulaney.
John Mulaney. Tell us about it.
I know people think they like him. They think he's funny. I just don't find anything appealing about him. To me, he sounds like Katharine Hepburn complaining about what's on TV. So.
You know what? You said something interesting. I like that you said people think they like him. So almost you're skeptical that people actually like him. That's how I feel about The Summer. People think they like The Summer, but you think people think they like John Mulaney.
All right. I mean, if you've ever watched one of his Netflix specials, you realize there's not much there. So,
okay.
but who am I to say? I live in this office. So,
well, yeah. You're an office-dwelling John Mulaney hater.
Yeah. Maybe I'm a little bitter. I don't know, but
look, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to put that choice down. What's coming in at number 9 on your airing of grievances?
Number 9, and here's where I'm going to lose a lot of people. It's Keurig machines.
Okay.
To me, they're the antichrist of coffee machines. Coffee doesn't come in a pod. I don't understand the appeal of the Keurig machine.
Okay, well, so I have one. I received one as a gift. I haven't used it in many years, not due to lack of interest. It just broke.
Okay.
But
well, if you want to end it here, that's fine with me.
So. No. I'm totally fine with this. If we didn't lose any John Mulaney fans, I certainly don't think the Keurig heads are going to walk out. Now, let me ask you.
Okay.
Is it
number 8.
Is it the fact that no? Don't worry about it. Is it the fact that the coffee is housed in pods, or is it?
Sound.
Or we may have lost sound with Thomas. So if people in the chat can't hear me, let me know. And then our technical director, Dave. So it seems like I'm okay on everyone else's front. Okay. Thomas, you can hear me now?
No, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, great. So technical difficulties is on my airing of grievances list, but I want to get back to this whole Keurig fiasco. Now, is it the fact that the coffee is housed in pods, or is it from a recyclable standpoint?
I confess it's more from the coffee housed in pods. The environment's important, but so is a good cup of coffee.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I was like, Thomas doesn't care about the environment. He just wants good coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, so Keurig machines, that's a great pick. What's coming in at number 8?
Number 8, this is pretty benign. It's yard work.
Yard work.
I hate trimming trees. I hate cutting the grass, but at least you can get that over with quickly.
Yeah.
But when it comes to flowers and growing vegetables, although I like flowers and vegetables, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go to Loblaws.
You want them to come pre-made. You don't want to be putting them together.
Exactly.
You just want the tulips and the cucumbers as is.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so yard work. What's coming in at number 7 on your airing of grievances?
Number 7 is Netflix content.
Keurig of media.
Yeah, I send them $15 a month. 90% of what they've got doesn't interest me in the least. And their recommendations are ridiculous, like drama with a strong female lead, or here's a provocative documentary you might like. So
what we're learning is you don't like provocative documentaries or things with female leads.
Well, I think I need something a little more meaty to go by, you know?
Yeah. What comes in at number 6?
Number 6 is graffiti.
Yeah, tell us about it.
I know I'm squarely in my demographic, but to me, it's not art. You know, you're defacing public property. We've got lots of new building projects going on in Montreal. And to me, there's no punishment too severe for the graffiti artist. So,
what would be a severe punishment for graffiti artists?
Removing their thumbs.
Rendering them unable to use spray paint cans.
Exactly.
All right, great. So we've got we're moving in to the real nitty gritty of the list. What comes in the number 4 spot?
By the way, I went from the very general to the, or
Mm-hmm.
the minor to the specific,
Yep.
I guess, whatever. Anyway, so number 5, snobbery. But there's
Snobbery.
we're all snobs in some way or other, but there's a very specific snobbery that kind of bugs me. It's when people make fun of people who shop at Walmart.
Okay, so like is it for kind of the ethical standpoint, or just that it's people who shop at Walmart is they're maybe lower status?
Yeah, a little of both, really. I mean, I
Mhm.
know there are websites devoted to this, like sort of humiliating the people who shop there. First of all, it's a perfectly legitimate business, and I'm sure the people, a lot of the people who shop there would prefer to shop somewhere else if they could afford to. So
Sure. What's interesting to me is you hate John Mulaney, Keurig, Yardwork, Netflix, and graffiti, but you love Walmart.
I didn't say that.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. You don't like people turning their nose to Walmart shoppers.
Right. But then again, I could be looking for a job in a couple of weeks, so you never know. So
well, let me know, because I'm in the same boat. Maybe you and I could start working at Walmart together.
We'd be a great team.
Yeah, we'd end up in the gardening section.
Yeah. They've got a great management trainee program, I hear. So,
well, look, I'm going to need something to continue my next journey. And let's continue with the list. What comes after snobbery?
Number 4, people who think, hey, my kids are cute. The world must think my kids are cute.
Okay, so let's expand on this.
Well, it's people who can't control their kids in a public space, like let them run around the restaurant or bicycle up and down the street at dangerous speeds, knocking over old people like me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, did you ever have any moments when your kids were out of control and you were like, everyone's looking at me, I'm this guy?
No. I've ruined my children in that respect. Like, they're very deferential.
Like most good parents should do.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So but they resent me for it, and that's fine. That's fair.
Okay. So you've done your job.
Exactly.
You've done your job. Okay. So people who can't control their kids, what comes next?
Number 3, people who text while walking.
Okay. So a lot of us are guilty of this.
Yeah, I mean, I do it too, but I try to like hug the building. I don't meander along the sidewalk or the worst are the people who like step onto the metro car and stop in the doorway to finish that text.
So you basically pull over to the shoulder of the sidewalk in order to text.
Yeah. Or I don't stop in the middle of the stairs getting out of the metro to finish that text,
Yeah. Okay. So what you want is people to be more conscientious texters.
Yeah.
Got it.
Basically.
Okay. So number 2, we're getting close.
I kind of boiled this one down to bare feet.
Yeah. This one speaks to me. Continue.
It's basically people who have a lack of awareness of, their bodies, exposing their bodies and bodily functions in public.
Bodily functions, so public urinators or defecators.
Well, even like, I was flying somewhere last summer and I couldn't look away, but there was a woman in the lounge in one of those recliner chairs with a mirror clipping her nose hairs.
Oh.
And I thought, surely you could go to a stall in a bathroom to do that. But
okay, so it was mostly the personal aspect of some type of public grooming that was off-putting, but caused you to look almost as if it were a car crash.
Exactly. And so, the bare feet thing is like where I used to work, people would walk around in their bare feet. And I was at a meeting one day with a
Did you used to work at a spa?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, if it was a spa, I would have been more understanding, I guess.
Sure.
But anyway, so I was had a meeting with a software designer, and during the meeting, it was in the summer, he had flip-flops on, he slipped his feet out of the flip-flops and he put his feet up on the other chair in the room.
It's a bold move.
Yeah. And then he started sort of fiddling with the knobs and the levers on the chair with his feet, with his toes, And I thought,
wait, so like the up and down?
Yeah. So, some other poor slob is going to come in the room and touch those things.
So I like that you've already determined that the next person that comes in is also a slob.
Yeah,
I like this. We're getting the a bit of a crustier side of Thomas Barnwell tonight.
Yeah, I figure this is my last appearance, so I'm going whole hog.
No, I think you're making a nightly appearance now because you're speaking to my tone and my language. I want to do a quick recap of everything that we've, or rather, you've established up to this point. We've got, again, this is the list of things that you think stink. It's an airing of grievances, according to Thomas Barnwell. In the number 10 spot, we have John Mulaney. In the number 9 spot, Keurig machines. In the number 8 spot, yard work, specifically gardening. And gardening for vegetables, cucumbers.
There's no need to do that. All right, you can buy it.
Or flowers. Okay. We have coming in after that, Netflix, graffiti, snobbery, parents who cannot control their kids, texting while walking, and bare feet. The number one thing that you would like to air your grievances towards is
Quebec.
Oh, good answer. Let's hear more. Once again, Thomas, you are not from Quebec. You were from New York City, and then Buffalo, New York, and then Quebec, which is quite a progression.
And I had a brief stop in Longueuil.
So
that might have colored my view.
It may have. Let's hear more.
So it's obviously not the people from Quebec, not all of them anyway, but mainly Quebec officialdom. So I think the taxes are ridiculous. The cost of food is ridiculous. The crappy roads, the general incompetence of people at the official level, lack of customer service. So,
I want to say something here. Thomas, you and I have talked about this. I don't really care much for how Americans get a bad rap, because I think you take the lowest common denominator out of anything and generalize, we're all screwed. I want to say that the customer service in the States, specifically at restaurants and specifically at sit-down restaurants, is so good and so friendly and so nice that we don't realize how bad we've got it here.
Yeah. And the portions are amazing.
They want you to leave full and giggly.
You're right. On the cusp of diabetes. That's what they.
Yeah, on the cusp of diabetes. I can't believe this list began with John Mulaney and ended with Quebec. If I just read this list cold and I said to someone, I want you to try to figure out what this list is of, I don't think anyone would say, oh, that's a top 10 thing of some stuff that some guy hates.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it unique to you. Anything else going on, Thomas? Are there any honorable mentions?
Oh man, too many to I had really a list of 45 things, and I kind of ran it past my daughter, and I said, I must be a very annoyed man. And she said, of course you're annoyed. It's
Well, the good thing is that now we've got material for another 3 spots, especially if we do 10. So we've got 30 more to go. So we can just periodically check in to hear what's grinding your gears these days, Thomas.
All right. Maybe you don't want to unleash the beast, but there you go.
Look, we're on Twitch now, so I'm ready to unleash everything, brother.
All right.
Whatever the hell that means. Whatever the hell that means. Thomas, it's always a pleasure. Let's talk soon, okay? I really love having you on, man.
Thanks. Take care,
buddy. Bye. That is Thomas Barnwell. He's an angry individual at some of the most trivial things. Once again, Keurig machines, yard work, graffiti. I wonder if it was all types of graffiti. I wonder if Thomas hates that big picture of Leonard Cohen on Crescent Street, but that's not really graffiti, right? That's artwork. I like when you walk by a wall and it just someone spray paints their name. It's just Peter on a wall in Ville LaSalle or something like that, but the E is maybe backwards. That's the type of graffiti that I think Thomas is talking about. I talked about Friday's show. Now we're going to talk about Saturday's show. This is the first ever Saturday edition of At Home with James, and it is going to be, as they say, they of course meaning me, a real dilly of a pickle. As you know, Dave Kaufman, who is not here tonight, but he's in the booth, technical director. I love you, Dave. He's making this show possible. If anyone's in the chat right now, just know that that's who you're talking to on behalf of At Home with James. Dave is the host of a little segment we like to call the Ruth Booth, where he asks a series of questions from Dr. Ruth's Game of Good Sex, a board game that I believe was released in 1980, maybe in between 81 and 82. on Saturday, we will be doing a full-length, long-form version of Dr. Ruth's Game of Good Sex in the Ruth booth with Dave Kaufman. I, James, begrudgingly will be teaming up with regular contributor Steph Mercier-Voyer, and we will be going head-to-head with another pair in the Ruth booth. Now, I have scoured Montreal from NDG all the way to Villemard, and I have found a couple to compete against Steph and myself on Saturday. The team that we will be going up against is real-life couple Dale Bernier and Ariel Daru. You might know them from various improv shows at an improv theater that at one point was in business. On Saturday night, it is my duty to defeat Dale and Ariel in a game of Dr. Ruth's Game of Good Sex with my friend Steph Mercier-Voyer. That is Saturday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I need to win this so bad. And from what I understand, another bombshell, there's going to be a grand prize for the winning team. And I'm scared of what it's going to be if I win. Last time we give it a grand prize, I don't want to talk about it. We're going to move on to our final segment of the night. This person comes to us every single Thursday. She's closing out the show. She's been evil for a couple weeks. She has made a full transformation. Let's welcome to At Home with James, the one and the only Carla Mah. Okay, I'm not sure if Carla might be sleeping. It looks like she's fashioned some type of mystical, fantastical tent.
Is that you?
Carla, are you asleep?
Barely.
Carla, were you just partying with Dimitri? Are you in Mykonos?
I wish.
What's going on, Carla? It seems like you're, I don't want to make any assumptions, but it seems like you were just taking a little snooze there.
I don't know. I've been in and out of sleep all week.
What's going on, Carla? I know, of course, you transitioned from Carla to evil Carla back to Carla. Are you still unwinding from that?
Yeah, there's a lot of unwinding involved when you're evil for so long. It takes a while to get out of your system.
I can imagine. Well, where are you located right now?
I kind of made myself a fort.
Yeah.
I just needed a little cozy space to feel safe again.
If I had to use one word to describe your current location, it does look safe.
Oh, yeah. It's been pretty nice to me.
Well, take us through what's been going on since you've kind of found your way outside of the evil circle of living.
Well, I've just been having a lot of bad nightmares and like weird flashbacks. Like I could be washing the dishes and then all of a sudden I'll remember a time that I was really mean to one of my servants.
Right.
It was so terrible. Everything that's coming back.
Yeah,
do you remember who I was?
You were pretty mean to me last week too.
Was I?
Yeah, there was a couple moments, but I knew that deep down it wasn't your true feelings.
I'm so embarrassed.
Don't worry about it. We're okay now, I think. It could be worse. It could be way worse. We could be Dimitri.
Well, I don't know. Dimitri seems to be doing fine.
Yeah, outwardly, but something tells me it's not going to end well for him.
Oh, well, that's not good.
It's not good. Well, Carla,
fly over to his boat.
Well, I think sometimes you just got to let fate take its course.
Ooh. Well, then I don't feel so good about myself then.
I think that if we're making comparisons, you're on the upswing. Of course, Carla, this is the Crapola Corner. We're used to you showing off some of your props or things that you've accumulated over the years. Sometimes you tell a story. What's on the menu for tonight?
Well, yeah, I've been in no mood to write any stories.
I can imagine.
So lost. But I did rummage around and I found this old book that I received as a gift that I never filled out.
Okay, so it says 5. Where will you be in 5 years from today? So you never filled this out.
No, but I was thinking maybe you could fill it out with me, and maybe we could figure out where to go from here.
I think now, are you looking for us both to fill it out on behalf of each other? Because I'm a little worried about what my answers are going to be.
Well, no. You answer for yourself.
Yeah, that's my concern.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I think from all of my answers, I'm going to write dead.
What? Damn. You might be worse off than me.
Dead serious about hosting this show every night from 9 to 10. I feel disgusting that I just said that. That was the worst promo I've ever done. Let's begin, Carla. I'm ready. Although I think Carla may have frozen. I'm not quite sure. This might be a classic technical difficulty.
Frozen.
No, I think, Carla, you were gone for a second. Now you're back. You're back.
Ay. You see this? Oh, Mark Zuckerberg's on my butt still, and I don't have any powers. Evil powers, that is.
Well, look, I don't want to get too controversial with Mark Zuckerberg right now. The chat's going to go up in flames if we mention Mark Zuckerberg.
That's true. Let's keep it.
Mark Zuckerberg, if we keep talking about him, he's going to smash my ass.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're really into that. Okay. Well, the first page here I have is here are some questions that will help you identify your top values in life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, values got brought up the other night with Carmen. You didn't really have any. No. Okay, well, let's see if we can figure it out together. Well, the first thing they ask are, what are the 3 things I like most and least about myself? Uh-oh.
So I should answer this?
Yeah.
The thing that I would say, okay, 3 things I like most about myself, I'm going to go with sense of humor, emotional stability, and my beard.
Wow. And least?
Then, the things that I least like about myself are probably my inability to shut down the jokes sometimes.
You don't hate that.
No, it's tough. I'm not that.
You're really pulling teeth here.
Yeah, I'm pulling what things I don't like about myself.
I think you love yourself. That's why I have to refer to you as inspiration.
Yeah, I guess I don't have any things that I don't. Sometimes my temper gets the best of me. How about that? My temper, my diet. How my diet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and my divorce.
Your divorce?
Yeah. It's a lie. It's a joke. I've never been married. I don't know. My shoes have a hole in them.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible. Okay, well, I'm starting to feel a little bit better about myself.
Yeah, you should.
Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. This next question. Who is the happiest person you know?
The happiest person I know? Oh, man, the happiest person I know? I'm gonna this local improviser, Monica Schneider.
Ooh,
always happy. I've never seen Monica in a bad. That's probably the happiest person I know.
Let's bring her on the show.
She's been here before. She'll come back. We'll get some tips on how to live a happy life.
Yeah, I need it right now.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll connect you guys.
So, okay. Next question. Who are the 2 people you like and respect the most, and why?
This is horrible, because then if I give, like, I could say 200 people like and respect the most.
I mean, you can't say me.
I can't say, like, there's, I'm going to say currently you and Dave. For people who don't know, Carla and Dave have really helped put this show on track. It's currently you guys. How about that?
Oh, I like that. This is making me feel good. Thank you.
I aim to please.
And the last question is, who are you?
I'm James.
But we know that, but who are you? This is my time to really dig into it.
Yeah, who's James? James is the type of guy who's got he's got your back. He's got the loyalty of a dog. He'll cheer you up when you need cheering up. He loves to put on some classic rock music, but he knows how to slow things down with something smooth at the same time. He likes fall weather. He likes drinking a coffee in the park. He loves not doing work. He really enjoys spending time with his friends. He likes eating soup. And if you cross him, you're on the list.
Whoa, what happens when you go on the list?
You'll never know, but when it happens, just consider me dead to you.
Wow. And I didn't get on the list when I was evil?
That's how hard it is to get on my list. Oh, I like Coca-Cola too.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I wear boxer shorts.
Oh, wow.
I wear boxer shorts. I don't like boxer briefs.
Wow, I really dug deep in there.
Yeah, now I can't stop this. Now I'm being
some sort of special cork.
Yeah, I'm being really forthcoming. I don't really like using straws. I didn't like straws before everyone else hated them. I'm a grown man. I don't want a straw.
You're a future man.
Yeah, that's my superhero name, Future Man. But all of my predictions are bleak.
Okay. Well, It seems like if I want to get out of this funk, well, I have to become emotionally stable. I'm not doing so well with that. I have to grow a beard. I'm doing okay there. I have to have a good sense of humor.
Yes.
I think I have one. I have to meet Monica Schneider.
Everyone should meet Monica Schneider. Everyone should meet sometimes I promote restaurants on here unsolicited. Now I'm just promoting people.
Yeah, I love it. You have to respect and like me and Dave. Woo! I can do that. And the list is so long here about loving soup and Coca-Cola and getting on the list if you cross the wrong line. I don't know what that is.
It takes a lot. Don't worry, it takes a lot.
Wow. Okay, I have a lot of work to do, but I thank you so much for being my inspiration, James.
Well, I'm grateful that I was able to be your inspiration. Do you have any plans on how you managed to, you're hoping to manage to put the train back on track?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe if I have a special visitor. Hey, come here. Oh no, not today. My cat ran away.
Oh, your cat ran. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, for anyone out there in Vancouver, what does the cat look like?
She is a beautiful brown tabby with a white chest and little white mittens, and she has a kind of peaches and cream belly. Oh, she's so cute, and she has kind of greeny yellow eyes, and she has perfect whiskers.
Wow.
And she has like a Disney princess cat face. And she has a shorter tail, and she has a chubby belly, and she's the best.
Chubby Belly was my first email address.
Really?
No.
Oh, so many lies. Divorce and Chubby Belly.
It's going to be my new email address, chubbybelly@gmail.com.
I don't like it.
It's going to be my alter ego on the show.
Oh, okay. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I'm finally going to do a character on the show. Hey, everybody, it's me, Chubby Belly. That's going to be my new character. When I'm not here, that's who's
Why? Don't do that ever again.
Yeah,
I wasn't trying to hear that. I'm already in a bad funk, James.
That's going to be what you need is you're going to close your eyes tonight, and then it's like the Tooth Fairy or the Mr. Sandman. Chubby Belly visits people if they're asleep.
I just want to apologize. I think I got too hot there again. And that also is on my mind from episode 100. It was too hot on the mic.
Yeah, people have been talking about it. They're like, Carla was on a hot mic the other night. But you know what? We're going through technical challenges. And that's why I've got a great team of my tech team, which is you and Dave.
I'm barely there. I'm hanging on by a thread.
Well,
Dave's really just the one, steering the ship right now, battening down the hatches.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say ship because that's Dimitri's thing, but it sounds like tonight when you go to bed, you could use a visit from Chubby Belly.
Yeah, where is my little Chubby Belly?
Well, Chubby Belly might be hosting the show at some point next week.
Oh, not that Chubby Belly. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's the Chubby. That's going to be who visits you, Carla. I guess this is it. Thanks so much for being here tonight. We're hoping for the best, not only for Dimitri but you.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Try to get some rest, okay?
I will.
Thanks, Carla.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye.
That's Carla Mah in the Crapola Corner. She was able to really get a lot of forthcoming answers out of me. But the big victory out of this is my brand new everyone who knows me knows that I like solo character work. And Chubby Belly is now my new alter ego. I got to work on that voice, though. I don't remember what I did. Hey, everybody, it's me, Chubby Belly. What's that? A fun, sweet treat? You're at home with Chubby Belly. I don't know if I like this character, but something about that character makes me happy. And I hope if you're out there, let me know. Hashtag yes, Chubby Belly. Hashtag no for Chubby Belly. I don't know if that name is problematic or not either, but I like it. I'm going to work on Chubby Belly. Guys, that's our show tonight. Things really flew by. Remember the first week of the show when we always had 4 guests, and then I thought, I can't keep this pace. Tonight we had 4 guests. Up top, we had the captain, Dimitri Kyres, on the captain's cruise. Rai Maitland was here, first-time guest, first time forever from now on. Thomas Barnwell, he was pissed off. He'll cool off. Carla Mah was here in the Crapola Corner. She's here every Thursday. Guys, we got 2 more shows this week before we take our brand new weekend of Sunday, Monday, which is not my preferred schedule, but we'll get back on track at some point. Remember, tomorrow night on the show, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 6 p.m. if you're one of our friends from Vancouver, we've got the Clash of the Super Nerds. Jess Fildes, Mark Rowland. Also, Steph Mercier-Voye will be here. I guess we're going to get ready to be in the Ruth booth on Saturday night. Until then, we did it. We did it. The transition to Twitch has treated us well. I'm happy about viewership. It's consistently hovering around 20, which for me is a triumph. We'll see you tomorrow night. I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and be well.
In the book.
Off the air.